This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell, and joining me here in the studio today are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar, principal second violin and artistic administrator Merwin Sue, and our friend Mickey Emsch, who is Ensemble Sales and Operations Manager for the Toledo Symphony. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to you, Mickey. Thanks for stopping by. I have a little fanfare for you. See, they get shorter as time goes on with every time that you come back and visit us.
There was no popping champagne. There was no cheering.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll save that for next year.
There was very little music, in fact.
And that's just the way we like it.
So as Brad asks you to tell your story, you can be similarly concise.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a person.
Except I don't have a story this time because we've already run through as many stories as we can about Mickey.
Well, you can write anything on your little paper.
Indeed. In fact, I could have the Mickey story generated by OpenAI, the new ChatGPT that's been in the news a lot lately, and we have decided that we're going to make use of that for a special Valentine's Day edition of SymphonyLAB. We're going to do a fun little radio play a little bit later in the program, but first we have a quiz, and we also have a lot of stuff going on that we're going to talk about. It is our Valentine's Day special here at Toledo SymphonyLAB. Now, it's been like years since we did a standalone real Valentine's Day program.
Maybe a year. I mean, it happens once a year.
At least.
We usually have a concert or some subject that we're talking about, and we have a quiz that's related to Valentine's Day, but we haven't had a standalone Valentine's Day special in a few years.
Then why do you keep bringing us chocolates?
That's a whole different podcast right there. So let's begin by maybe going around the table and talking about our favorite stories, your favorite love stories. Now, this can just be the title, you know. You can paraphrase it if you want, or you can tell us why it appeals to you, that sort of thing. I'm going to start with you, Merwin, because you're pointing over at Zach. So why don't you go ahead?
I'm drawing a huge blank because I'm not sure I'm understanding the assignment.
Okay, Zach.
Are you looking for a personal story from our?
Oh, just any story, any love story that you can tell. Why don't I go first? Okay, there's a piece of music that I call or that I play on the radio by the great pianist Marc-Andre Hamelin. Right, and he wrote it for his fiancée at the time, but now his wife, Kathy. I can't remember her last name now. Kathy something or other, and she's at the radio station in Boston. So he wrote this thing. It's called Kathy's Variations, and it's just a beautiful piece for the piano. And I'm thinking, you know, stories of great composers throughout history who have written love songs, as it were, for their paramour at the time. You think of, I don't want to say it, but I will say it. You think of Mahler, right? And Alma Mahler and the inspiration behind some of his music. You think of the Schumanns and their relationship. There are lots of relationships from classical music and lots of pieces that were written directly as sort of a Valentine to their significant other. So that and those would be my favorite stories. I did remember her name finally, Kathy Fuller, and I didn't look at anything, but I'm going with that. So that is my entry into the sweepstakes, so to speak. Zach, you want to tell us anything?
I think the books I read are really dark, and if they aren't dark, then they're children's books. So I think the closest I've gotten to romance is probably in the Harry Potter books right now with my daughter.
Really?
Yeah. The last book of any relationship I think I read was Rebecca, which is not a very positive love story.
It's also a movie, right?
It's a great movie. It's a Hitchcock, actually, but the book is outstanding too. And other than that, you know, Stephen King and that sort of thing. So I don't know that I'm in the... No, I also read Dracula, another great love story.
That is kind of dark, right?
Yeah. So, you know, maybe this is just not a great time for me in romance novels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to explore that further, but we're going to move on. Mickey, what's a favorite story for you?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm not terribly sappy with romantic media, but I think my go-to has been The Birdcage. I rewatch very often. I think it's just one of the sweetest stories, and obviously La Cage aux Folles, but just Nathan Lane and Robin Williams' chemistry on screen, and just
it's outstanding.
Starting a love story with a grown child and the mundane day-to-day is it's just so beautiful, and they're so beautifully flawed. I love them.
Yeah, and it's really a coincidence, but I was watching a little bit of The Birdcage this morning on
It's
YouTube,
a great
actually.
show.
Today, and I was watching a video about mistakes that people made in movies and how they recovered from it.
Yes.
And there's a scene where Robin Williams falls on the floor.
Blank the shrimp.
Yeah, that was an accident. The folks can find that on YouTube if they want to search up The Birdcage, film mistakes, Robin Williams. Well, let's talk a little bit about any special plans? Now, the three of you are all married. Two of you have got little kids at home. I mean, do you have any kind of Valentine's Day traditions or perhaps plans for this year? Merwin, you're not getting off on this one. You have to answer. So we're going to turn it over to you.
It's a tricky...
Actually, I have a little music for you. Let me pull that up.
He has music for this, but not for you, Mickey.
No, I have music for all three of you. Okay.
It's a tricky time of year, so we generally tend to kind of relocate the celebration either a week before or a week after. We're almost always working. So I actually have a rehearsal Valentine's Day evening. We usually combine that with my birthday, which is a couple of days later. And so we kind of, just combine a celebration. It's always been, it's always been restaurant centered, but since the pandemic, we've kind of made that a little bit more of a family thing.
Well, that's interesting. So Valentine's Day is next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So when is your birthday?
The 16th of February.
Wow, so this is kind of a birthday celebration as well.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's interesting, though. Zach, you want to go ahead with it?
I want to piggyback
hang on a second.
that.
I got love
sorry.
music for you. Let me pull it up. Yeah, it's kind of jazzy. I figured this was more along the lines of
you nailed
Zach's
this.
aesthetic.
That's great. So, on the topic of birthdays, my youngest daughter has her half birthday on Valentine's Day, and
Really?
because she's August 14th, and she discovered this. I don't know. We told her this 2 years ago, and now Valentine's Day is her second favorite day in the year, preceded by her birthday and followed by Christmas. And so we're inevitably going to be having a lot of chocolates and some sort of gift for a half birthday, which I don't really put a lot of stock in this, but she's trying to make a little cottage industry out of it.
Hey, you know, half birthdays are a big deal when you're really, really young.
Yeah.
Right? Even a month or a day.
Yeah.
I mean, every day only comes once a year, so
That's true.
that's
Truer words have never been spoken.
at least in this room.
What is your half birthday?
My half birthday, well, I was born on June 20th, so I don't have my slide rule with me to do the math, but probably December 20th, right before
Got
the
that.
equinox, right? Before the December equinox.
So you're born right before the summer solstice.
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes I get like the triple crown on my birthday. If it falls on a Sunday, I get Father's Day, and I also get my birthday and the first day of summer sometimes. So that has happened a couple of times in the past. Yeah, so it's a nice little tie-in there.
Very good.
All right, Mickey, your turn. I've got music for you. Here we
Sure.
go.
Well, for Valentine's Day, my husband and I will be watching the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a couple of days before, and that's our real main interest this
Hang on a second.
That might be the best use of the buzzer I've ever heard.
And you've heard a lot of buzzers.
Yeah, seriously.
You guys are football fans, I take it.
Yes.
So you're going to be paying attention on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, because the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, and that is very significant in our household.
Okay, can you explain that? Let me pull up the music again. Here we go.
Wow, this
All
is
right.
not Kansas City Chiefs music.
Yeah, I've never heard football to this soundtrack before.
It's lovely, though, because many football folks receive ballet training, so,
So tell us about why you're a football fan and why the Kansas City Chiefs are an important part of your life.
I am from there, and
Are we talking Missouri or
Yes.
Kansas? Okay.
So it sits on state line.
Right.
So my grandmother was in the Kansas side, but that's most folks are in Missouri side.
Do you not talk about her then?
No. No, we
Nice.
just we have to be careful driving in that county because folks get crazy.
Yeah.
No, we are both casual enough football fans that we grew up near it. Love it. The house feels fuller on a Sunday when there's like something slow cooking and football sounds near you. And yeah, we watch as much as we
That
can.
sounds great.
Football sounds.
Football sounds, yes.
Yeah. I don't have any football sounds, unfortunately.
That's okay. I have
But-
some at home. But yeah, we typically, I used to work a lot of Valentine's Days at the florist, but no, we just enjoy the experience of it for any kind of romantic holiday.
Can I piggyback on that?
Yeah.
How much do florists take advantage of us on Valentine's Day?
So I have aggressive feelings towards that question because everybody gets very upset. The price themselves will change just in the materials. So roses are going to cost more when they're coming up to florists in that season. But it's kind of like weddings where people are like, oh, they hike up the price for weddings. But realistically, the labor cost and the way that your order skips to the front for something as important as a wedding, it should have more value.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoy, we used to call it Buy Your Florist a Margarita Day at the shops because it was exhausting and then you'd go home. It was very fun.
Excellent. Well, we are an all-encompassing podcast talking about florists, and we've had a lot of different subjects on the program in the past, aside from classical music, but that's what we do. It's really interesting, the little backstory behind what florists do on Valentine's Day. I'm thinking of like the card manufacturers and the chocolate makers and what have you. I mean, it's a bonanza for all of those folks.
Well, and if you think about the amount of orders going out for a lot of smaller groups, it's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to juggle and a lot to make sure that everyone is treated with the specific care that each order requires. So that's another thing about florists.
Did you have to like hire out temp servers to go around and deliver stuff?
One of the places I worked at, Billy Herman's, had 4 locations, and there was a whole crew of temps for the holidays, for that and Mother's Day, that you fielded a lot of calls. And
Well, while you've got your florist hat on, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite flower?
Oh gosh, what's in season? Usually, I love irises. I love I didn't used to love roses, but I love roses.
What color?
Depends on the arrangement. But red you can't go wrong with red. If someone is hearing this and is thinking, oh, I forgot to buy flowers, go to a local shop. Don't go at the 1-800-Flowers because that's going to send the same order to the local florists, but they'll have less money to work with. So just call them directly.
A good little PSA from Mickey Emsch, our resident florist here on Toledo SymphonyLAB. You guys have any questions, any floral questions before we move on to our quiz? If you want to delay the quiz, now's your chance.
I don't think I've ever said this, but let's go to the quiz.
Please.
Let's go to the quiz. We have a very special quiz for you today. Okay. This quiz is in the style of Jeopardy, right? So it's a little different than what we've done in the past. I'm going to go around the room in order. I choose one person, then I give you a bunch of different categories, and that person chooses a category. I ask a question. If they know it, they say it. If they don't know it, they buzz out. It's 30 seconds that they have to answer the question before it expires. If they cannot answer the question, then I turn it over to the crowd and I give you 3 choices. That's where the multiple choice comes in. And whoever can answer the question first of everybody, that includes whoever the first person was, who controls the board, as it were. And if you're able to get it right, then you get to choose the next category and the next question will be asked of you. I know it sounds complicated, but we talked about this before we got on the air. So everybody clear? on how this works?
You wouldn't believe the fabulous prizes that he's making available, too. Sports
Yes.
cars, lottery tickets.
Flowers, roses, red roses, and irises. Absolutely. Okay, so let's go to the categories. They are love in literature, love in mythology, love in pop culture, love in history, love in psychology, and general love trivia. So that's 6 different categories, all of them having to do, of course, with love, being this is our Valentine's Day broadcast. So I'm going to start with you, Zach. We'll go around the room. So you're the first person up. Here is, you have to pick a category first. What do you choose?
Let's do love and pop culture, please.
Love and pop culture. The very first question in the love and pop culture category is, who wrote the famous love song, My Heart Will Go On?
Well, Celine Dion made it famous. Who wrote it?
You got 30 seconds to answer.
I'm going to guess David Foster.
Nope, not David Foster. Okay, now it opens up to everybody. The question again is, who wrote the famous love song, My Heart Will Go On? The possible answers are Celine Dion, James Horner, or Dolly Parton.
James Horner.
James Horner was the composer of that song. Merwin, you control the board. What category do you want?
I'll jump to mythology, please.
Love and mythology. Who is the Roman goddess of love and beauty?
The Roman goddess of Venus.
You got that. The Roman goddess could trip some people up because they're thinking perhaps of the Greek goddess, which would be Aphrodite. But Venus is the correct answer. You still control the board, Merwin. What category would you like?
Let's go to history.
Love in history. Who was the famous historical figure known for his unrequited love for Helen of Troy?
Paris.
Well, that was fast. Yes. Indeed, it was Paris. Your choices would have been Achilles, Paris, or Hector. But Paris is the correct answer. Merwin, pick a category.
I am desperately trying to avoid pop culture at every moment, so I'm going to try literature.
Love in literature. This novel by Jane Austen tells the story of the romantic entanglement between Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy.
Oh, so these are like... So there's one Seven Deadly Sin and one venial one, so we'll go with Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice is that your final answer?
Sure.
That's correct.
Aren't we mixing up intellectual properties here?
Pride and Prejudice, indeed. Merwin, you're running the board. What's your next category?
I'll go back to mythology.
Okay, love and mythology. I've only got 3 questions for each category, so this is question number 2. Who is the Hindu god of love and passion? The Hindu god of love and passion.
Vishnu?
No, that's close, but not correct. I'm going to give everybody the multiple choice. Okay, the Hindu god of love and passion. Is it Vishnu? Well, we know that's not it. Is it Krishna or is it Shiva? A, B, or C? What do you say, Mickey?
B.
B would be Krishna. That is correct. Yes,
C
you
was
got one.
distraction.
So you control the board, Mickey. Who do you choose?
Oh, geez. May I please have psychology?
Love in psychology. What is the psychological term for an intense emotional attachment or attachment to someone typically experienced by young people? What is that term for that? It's kind of difficult.
Are we thinking of like infatuation or puppy love? What?
Well, you said the answer.
Oh, good.
Was it or?
It was
iron ore.
It was infatuation was the correct answer. Okay, Mickey, what's your next category?
Well, let's just keep going in psychology.
Okay, what is the psychological term for the scientific study of love, romantic relationships, and attachment? The psychological term for the scientific study of love and relationships.
Oh. I regret choosing this category. So Latin roots wouldn't be right. Amorology or something. Nope.
No, that's not correct. I'm going to open it up to the crowd. Is it loveology? Is it romanceology? Or is it attachment theory? A, B, or C?
Attachment theory.
Yes, indeed, it is. Attachment theory.
I saw Zach try to raise his
Mickey,
hand.
you got
I'm
it.
sorry.
You're still running the board, Mickey. What do you choose?
Pop culture, please.
Pop culture. Okay, love and pop culture. Who wrote the famous love song, Endless Love?
I was really hoping for a Justin Timberlake question, Brad.
I do have one on here.
Jeans at the Oscars, please no. I don't know.
Okay, opening it up to the crowd here. Who wrote the famous song Endless Love? Was it Diana Ross? Was it Stevie Wonder? Or was it Lionel Richie?
Lionel
A,
Richie.
B, or C? Merwin, you got that. Excellent job. Lionel Richie. Merwin is still in the lead, and you've got control of the board. You wrestled it out of Mickey's hands. What do you choose, Merwin?
We'll go with general trivia.
General love trivia. What is the traditional gift for a first wedding anniversary?
I'm going to say paper.
You got it.
Airplanes.
Paper airplane.
Throw them at me.
Okay, what's your next category, Merwin?
Okay, well, Finnish mythology.
Okay, Finnish mythology.
Is it the Finnish?
Not actually
No.
from Finland. Not from Finland. This is from Egypt, actually. Who is the Egyptian god of love and fertility?
Egyptian god of love or fertility.
Love and fertility.
So, my biggest problem is having to vamp for 30 seconds while I don't know what the answer is because I don't want dead air on the radio.
Yeah, the answer is one of these three. I'm going to open it up to everybody, okay? So, love and mythology. Who is the Egyptian god of love and fertility? Is it Anubis? Is it Horus? Or is it Osiris? A, B, or C?
Osiris.
You got that, Merwin. All right, you're still in control, Merwin. What category do you pick?
I dip a tentative toe into literature again.
Okay, love and literature. This epic poem by Virgil tells the story of the Trojan prince Aeneas and his journey to found Rome, including his love affair with Dido, the queen of Carthage.
That really set up as a Jeopardy style question. So,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to answer it that way. So, the Aeneid.
The Aeneid? Wow, you know your Greek literature. That was correct. Merwin, you're still in control of the board.
I'll go back to general trivia.
General love trivia. What is the scientific term used to describe a love triangle?
Wow.
Trying to trip you up here.
You did.
Scientific term for a love triangle. I'm talking about, like, not the instrument in the orchestra, right?
Sadly, I don't have a lot of personal experience with love triangles, so...
Sadly?
Hope your wife's not listening.
Well, sadly for my ability to answer this question. We'll throw it open.
Okay, we're throwing it open for everybody. The question is, what is a scientific term used to describe a love triangle? Is it ternary relationship, triad, or polyamorous relationship? A, B,
The last
or
one
C?
seems too general.
Yeah.
That seems
Can I buzz in and say triad?
Yeah, there's your buzz
That's
right
my
there.
buzz.
I'm going
That's
to buzz and
incorrect.
say polyamory because is it
That's not correct.
just for
Yeah.
3?
That's wrong. Okay, what do you say?
Nothing. There's no.
Merwin, do you have
Well,
an
I
answer?
guess I'll try with the ternary relationship one.
Yes.
That was not a resounding victory.
That was
there.
very good.
That was a real stumble. into the
Victory
correct
by
answer there.
default. You stumbled into victory. I like that. It's
Yes.
kind of a football thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Merwin, you're still in control of the board. What do you
I
say?
guess psychology. I think we have one more there.
Psychology, yes. What is the name of the hormone that is released in the brain during physical contact, such as hugging, which promotes feelings of love, trust, and bonding? What is the name of that hormone?
Dopamine?
It was a good guess, but
Buzz,
not
buzz.
quite right.
Buzz.
So I'm going to give you a choice here. Serotonin, oxytocin. Oh, you're buzzing?
It's serotonin.
No, it's not serotonin.
Then never mind. I was testing you.
Never mind.
I wanted Zach to answer
Yeah.
this one.
Where's Emily Latella when you need her? Okay, is it serotonin, oxytocin, or dopamine?
Oh.
A, B, or
I'm going to say it's oxytocin.
Oxytocin, you are correct. Yeah. All right. Now, if you can run the board, Zach, you might have a chance of winning.
Let's see here. I'll take General Love Trivia for 400.
Okay, General Love Trivia for 400 smackaroos. In which country did the tradition of exchanging love letters on Valentine's Day originate? What country did the Valentine's Day letter originate?
We're starting to do funny dances whenever this music happens.
It's so true.
It's a very good song.
What a fascinating question. I wish I knew the answer.
Well, take a guess. What country did it originate in?
Let's go for France.
I'm sorry, that's wrong. So we open it up to everybody. Your choices are France, Italy, or England. And since
But-
I'll
France
go with
was
Italy.
already...
I'll try Italy.
All right, Merwin, you stole the board away from Zach. Okay, you're up.
Europe, is that a category?
Love in Europe. Okay.
Is there still one left in history?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, there are
Yep,
two left
two.
in history.
Okay, I will take the history.
Okay, this one is kind of hard. Who was the famous British naval officer and explorer who was known for his love affair with a Tahitian princess?
James Cook?
James Cook is correct. Oh my gosh, everybody is like, glassy-eyed. Did you guys think of that when he was saying it?
Oh, I sure didn't. No, not a clue.
How about you, Zach?
No.
No. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, well, I had
Actually,
the answer in
I
front
stopped
of me.
paying attention when you said it was a hard question.
Okay,
I
Merwin,
started doodling Mickey Mouse on my paper here.
you're still in control, Merwin.
I guess we'll finish the history category.
Okay, this famous medieval couple's love was so strong that it became the inspiration for the legend of Tristan and Isolde. Was it? Oh, I'm not going to give you the possible answers. So, who was the inspiration behind Tristan and Isolde?
It's not Brittany and Justin.
They may have been inspired by Tristan and Isolde.
It's true. That got Merwin. Oh, no.
You got 30 seconds, so take your time.
No. We can pass this over to Mickey. She deserves that.
No.
No,
you
I
have
don't
to
actually-
try and answer.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I might be able to pick it out of a...
It's Ben and Jen.
Okay.
Ben and Jen.
It's not Ben and Jen. It's not Brangelina. It's not any of those.
Okay.
Okay, is it Guinevere and Lancelot? Is it King Henry II and Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine? Or is it Queen Isabella of France and King Edward II of England? A, B, or C?
None of those felt right.
This is up for everybody can answer.
Not Ben and Jen.
I'm gonna go
I'm
with
Ben and
C
Jerry.
because there's no penalty
You
for
go with
that.
C?
Yeah, okay.
That's wrong. Anybody else
I'm
want
going
to?
to
Can I
go with B.
B. Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Zach got that one.
a double win there,
No,
Zach.
I think we both said it at the same time.
I
it's
think
a
so, but you
jinx.
should control the
Yeah.
board.
King Henry II and Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine. They were the inspiration for Tristan and Isolde.
So was he a tenor?
Yeah, not necessarily for the opera, but for the story, right? For the first novel about them. Anyway, so who's in control? Zach, why don't you choose the next category?
Pop culture to close that out for 700, Alex.
Okay, pop culture. This famous couple's steamy romance and eventual breakup captivated fans and dominated headlines for years.
Wait.
I'm going to say Brittany and Justin, just to see the
Which
look on
Justin?
Yeah,
just in case, of course. Yes.
just in case. Ha, ha, ha.
And then we'll thank you. Wow, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, you got right. You got it right. Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. Okay, the other choices were Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, or
Also
Beyonce
true.
and Jay-Z.
Also true.
Yeah.
Let's go for love and literature. Alex.
Love and literature. The final question in this category is, this novel by Emily Bronte tells the sad story of intense and unrequited love on the Yorkshire moors. Got an answer, Zach? You're nodding yes, but you haven't said anything.
Are you waiting till the end of the music?
This is a really hard charade, Zach. I don't know why you're trying to do it this way.
really selling it,
Wuthering Heights.
Yes, Wuthering Heights. Great
Zach
job.
was
He knows
he
his
nailed the
Brontes.
Wuthering part, but the Heights was really hard for him.
I have a love-hate relationship with this book, and of course I couldn't remember the title of it.
Well, I think that
So-
wraps it up, right?
Well, no, hold on. We sell potent potables, don't we?
No
Did we
potent
do
potables.
general?
That's after
Yeah,
the
that was
podcast.
general.
Yeah,
Got
we
through
did
that.
general trivia. So
I thought that was love trivia about generals, by the way.
Yeah.
It was false advertising.
So Zach has 1, 2, 3, 4. Zach got 4, and Mickey had 1.
I believe I had 2.
2, 3, 4. Why? I've got 3, 4. Okay.
Don't sound so surprised.
I've got you tied with Zach,
Yes.
and for Merwin, well, let's see how Merwin did. 1,
I stopped
2,
counting
3,
at 9 for Merwin.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Merwin got 11. So
It's weird because violinists can't count past 4.
or speak either,
Yeah.
evidently.
I'm going to just call for an audit on that because the math doesn't work, but I'll just say that.
It's all
one way.
good.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've had our Valentine's Day quiz, which only took all of 20 minutes, but that was kind of fun. You really got to exhibit, your genius. It was on full display there, Merwin.
It
So
wasn't on full display. It was on fire.
it was on fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's great.
Let's talk a little bit about to switch subjects completely. Let's talk about this concert. You brought this up to me in an email, Merwin, and it is the Toledo Symphony League Young Artist Competition winners. Now, Mickey, you have some information about this program that's happening?
Absolutely. So this will be on February 11th over at Trinity Episcopal downtown in Toledo on Adams Street. It's going to be family friendly, and we have a 3 o'clock start time for getting to tour the ensembles. Folks can see up close the string quartet, the woodwind quintet, and the brass quintet. And then afterwards, we'll all come together and get to celebrate. We have 3 phenomenal winners for our Young Artist Competition winners this year. And they are Mary Boris on saxophone, Miki Kawamura on piano, and Heyo Lee on violin.
It's so interesting when you say that people will be able to be up close. Is it like touching? Can we touch the instruments?
I don't think that there's a full instrument petting zoo at the beginning, but there will be it's in smaller rooms, and the whole fun of it is getting to explore the venue and the instruments at the same time. So if you have never gotten to see a horn up close, you can come and ask questions and learn about it while they play and
Really
stop.
cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. So is there a Valentine's Day component to this? Because it's happening on the Sunday before Valentine's Day, at the 11th of February.
Actually, the Saturday.
Or the Saturday before, yeah.
It is the Saturday.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to do math. That includes calendars, right? So it's happening Saturday. But the Saturday before Valentine's Day. I mean, you have any couples therapy or specials going on for the concert?
Well, I think that it's a great way to spend the afternoon if you're looking for something to do with your sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's going to be just a stunning full performance with the symphony at Trinity in that space after the first half with these ensembles. Then everyone will come together and we'll get to highlight these artists while they're performing with the orchestra.
Yeah. So these were the winners of this competition.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about the competition?
Sure. It actually happened in January.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice that the competition and this concert are more proximate than they usually are. And we couldn't do it without the help of the Toledo Symphony League. They are so supportive of young artists, not just through this young artist competition, but also through so much work that they do with the Toledo Symphony Youth Orchestras. And they provide scholarship money for many students to be able to pursue their studies. And this this particular competition gives people, it's just such a really amazing rush to perform with an orchestra behind you. It's I'm not a surfer, but I imagine it feels it's a good analogy.
Catching a wave.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. There is this amazing feeling that you just can't replicate, and it's so we're really hoping to be able to deliver this really cool experience that can, really change a life. So
you talk like you've experienced this sort of thing in person and not just vicariously. I mean, did you ever win any competitions when you were a kid?
You mean besides the trivia on this program? Yeah.
Besides winning the quiz today.
Not at that young an age. I was fortunate enough to be able to win a concerto competition as an undergraduate, and so it was a really cool experience to be able to. I was performing the first Shostakovich violin concerto with the McGill Symphony, and it was. I'll never forget it because it was the day after or 2 days after a huge ice storm paralyzed the city of Montreal, and there's something very appropriate about performing Shostakovich in an ice storm-ridden city with power poles split down the middle. And
I think you're onto something there, definitely.
Yes, weather control is something we're trying to do. We're trying to get into with the Toledo Symphony to really highlight the atmosphere of concerts.
Just have a pop-up concert, if it happens to rain. Hey, Shostakovich, right? Jump out there and...
String players are notorious for wanting to play outside in the rain.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, it's time for a special feature, and we talked about this briefly at the beginning of the program. This is a radio play like we did with the Ibsen Grieg Peer Gynt thing that we did a few weeks ago. And the way that it works is I've given everybody a script. We're going to record our lines, and we're going to play it for you. It's sort of our Valentine's Day card to all of our faithful listeners, or listener, as it were. See, I beat you to it, Zach.
You know my lines.
Yes, indeed. So this is a love story play. And the remarkable thing about this is that it was written by artificial intelligence. You know about this, right, Zach?
Yeah, it's a fascinating, very interactive piece of software. And you can ask it questions, and it does research and returns long-form prose. It can do creative assignments like making a radio play.
Yeah, and we're about to find out. So here is our Valentine's Day card to all of you on Toledo SymphonyLAB. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Valentine's Day special radio play. Today we have a story for you featuring two of the most talented musicians in town. Get ready to fall in love with the sweet sounds of love.
Good morning, my love. You look beautiful as always.
Good morning, my dear. And may I say, you're looking quite dapper yourself.
Thank you, my love. I have something special planned for you today.
Really? What is it?
I've written a poem just for you. I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will, my love. I can't wait to hear it.
And now a special commercial break, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of the same old boring Valentine's Day gifts? Look no further. Introducing the Love-a-Tron 9000. This revolutionary machine will help you express your love in new and exciting ways. Say goodbye to chocolates and flowers and hello to love poems printed right from the Love-a-Tron 9000. Imagine the look on their face when they receive a love poem straight from your heart. And there you have it, folks, the Love-a-Tron 9000 for the most unique and unforgettable Valentine's Day gift yet. Order now and make your loved one smile.
And we're back. Let's continue with our special Valentine's Day radio play.
Are you ready, my love?
I'm ready, my dear.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I love you more than tacos do.
Oh, wow, that's so romantic. Where did you even find that one?
I may have used the Love-a-Tron 9000.
The Love-a-Tron 9000? That's the worst poetry generator I've ever heard of.
Hey, it was either this or nothing.
And who are you writing this for exactly?
Well, you see, it's actually for someone else.
What? Someone else? I thought it was for me.
It's for a friend. They always seem so down on Valentine's Day. I thought this would cheer them up a bit.
Well, I guess I'll just have to find someone who appreciates me for who I am. You know what? I think I'll write my own love poem for someone else and see how you like it.
Really? You're going to write a love poem?
Yes, I am. And it's going to be better than this Love-a-Tron 9000 nonsense.
Good luck with that.
Roses are red, violets are blue, and I'm writing a poem just for you.
Roses are red, violets are blue. My love for you is like a cheese sandwich, so gooey and true. Roses are red, violets are blue. I've got a crush and it's all thanks to you. Roses are red and so is my face. Whenever I'm near you, I can't keep pace.
Roses are red, bananas are yellow.
Stop! I think we may have created a monster.
I guess we'll just have to write even better love poems to keep up.
From now on, we write our own love poems.
Aw, how sweet.
Aww.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, beep boop.
And so, as the Bard of Avon himself would say, all's well that ends well. Thank you for listening to our Valentine's Day special. Tune in next week for another exciting episode. And don't forget to fall in love with the Love-a-Tron 9000, bringing happiness to you one heart at a time.
The end.
And that is our radio play, our Valentine's Day offering to all of our listeners out there. I'm Brad Cresswell, and I want to thank everybody who participated today. That is Zach Vassar, Merwin Sue, and Mickey Emsch. Thanks, guys, and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Brad.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. All right. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony, with generous support from the Rita Barber Kern Foundation. You can download episodes as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple, Google, and Spotify podcasts. And don't forget to check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony by visiting their website at toledosymphony.com and their various social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find the TSO streaming platform online at stream.artstoledo.com. This has been Toledo SymphonyLAB from FM 91.